So if you've not just seen my recent video, I did a review about the K700, which is the Ravemen front-facing light sensitivity light. It's got a power output that changes from the ambient light outside, which is really good. It's an intelligent light. I said I was going to do a review for this, the NT101. This is the new Ravemen rear light, but it's a bit of a special light. I'm still suffering from an injury. I did a bike ride some time ago, damaged my knees a little bit, so I'm off the bike. And then last week, or the week before last, I was out on a holiday trip in Mallorca, and I stepped on a poisonous fish, and my leg is the size of a balloon. I'm off riding. So I'm just going to do a quick review for this and show you what it's all about. And then I'm going to get back out on the bike once I'm fit and healthy to do so, and yeah, show you what they're like in the real world. So yeah, what have we got? We've got this big chunky light. It's not overly heavy, but it's definitely quite a wide light, quite a chunky light, and it's not just a light. This thing comes with some special features. Now, excuse my fake bike here. I've got one of my little mini tripods where I've mounted the K700 on the top, and I've mounted the mount for this on the side of it just to simulate what it's like. It fits on a seat post, and it also comes with the USB cables, all the screws and fittings and stuff for attaching it to your rear rack or the back of your bike. This is the rear rack mount. As you can see there, it's quite a long square mount. It's on there basically so I can show you how this works. So yeah, we're going to clip it on. Oh, on the bottom we've got a USB socket, USB-C socket on the bottom there with a rubber cover, which means it's got a bit of a waterproofness to it. It's also got an alarm built into this. I want to show you that as well, which is a pretty cool idea. But yeah, let's just put it on there so you can see the light, and I can show you what it's doing without having to sort of hold it and handheld it. So I'm going to read from some notes on the screen because I have the screen up because it helps me to remember what it is I'm talking about. So I'm just going to run through some basic stuff, the actual light levels, so I don't forget the outputs and brightnesses of them. So high level is a 50 lumens. Medium level is a 25 lumens, low level is a 15 lumens, and then you've got a warning flashing of 160 lumens, which is quite bright, and then you've got a slow flashing, 100 lumens, hazard lights, 115 lumens, and turn signals, 115 lumens. And yes, I did say turn signals. This rear light actually has turn signals. I know, it's amazing technology for you, isn't it? So right, let me just go through what we've got here. I'm gonna face away from you in a moment, so I'm gonna see what's on the screen, just so I can remind myself the notes, and then I can tell you what. Turn signals, as I've mentioned, it's got turn signals. Let's start with that first of all. So it comes with a remote control as well. This remote control has a nice little rubber thing. You can actually wrap it around your steering or your handlebars, and you can just literally clip it on, and it's clipped onto your handlebars. So you've got it there at your fingertips while the light is on the back of your bike. Because reaching down while you're cycling, if you're like me with short arms, it is really difficult to find the light underneath your seat sometimes, even though this has got a really big button and I'm sure you could reach it. But this is probably going to be mounted on the back of a cycle rack or on the behind your luggage or something like that, so you're not going to be able to reach it while you're cycling. So the beauty with this is it's got an on and off button. I can press the button there and it should come on. There you go. How cool is that? I press the button on my handlebars and away I go. I've got a light on the back of my bike, and I can also turn it off. Press and hold it, turns it off. Now it does have a manual override, as you've got to have the power mainly switched on for this to work. But once this is on, that's your on and off button. So let's turn it on. Very simple. On the screen there you can see in front of me it says turn signals. Yes, this thing has turn signals. So left, we want to go left, we press the left button. How cool is that? And it's got a sound to it. Listen to the sound. So if I stop that and put on the right turn signal, it's got a different sound to it. So when you're cycling along, you can hear the actual indicators on. So if you're going to be turning right, you can put your right indicator on. You know that your sound is going to be listening to that direction. And I think it's got an auto off as well. I think after a while it's got an auto off button, so it can turn itself off. But don't quote me on that. I will have to just check on the instructions to make sure. But I'm sure I've read somewhere it's got an auto off after it goes off after a while. The next feature, ground line sensors. So it's got lane sensors. On the bottom of the remote control, you've got a laser. And when you switch the laser on, you can see on my hands, hopefully you can just see on my hands, just about there, you can see that the laser lines are coming on and coming off. Hopefully you can see that. What these laser lines do, and they've got one on both sides, what the laser lines do is give you your space awareness. So for other vehicles behind you, for other cyclists, for other motorists, you should be able to see these red stripes on the road below you. That should give you that proximity sensor so that hopefully they're not going to enter your space. Let's hope so, because that's quite a dangerous thing when cars and vehicles getting that close to you. It's got an anti-theft vibration alarm. Yeah, this is quirky. So before we get into the light sensors, let's just turn and show you this. So the power's on at the moment. I've got the lock button. So I'm going to press and hold the lock button. You can hear that audible sound. That is now in lock. My bike is locked. I've got off the bike. I've gone into the cafe. I've pressed the button. Ideally, take this with you. But I've pressed the button on it. The bike is now locked. If someone comes and grabs my arm, grabs my bike, starts to move my bike around, it's going to make a lot of noise. Right. It should be off now, hopefully. It's going to make a lot of noise, and it's going to really, it's going to either deter people and they're going to run away, or hopefully someone's going to see what's going on. But yeah, it's got a bike alarm. It's not something I'm used to using, is bike alarms, but I do have one when I go wild bike camping, because at night you're obviously leaving your bike outside the tent. So having that on, if someone comes and picks your bike up in the night and starts walking away with it, the alarm's going to go off. It's going to wake you up. You're going to run out of the tent and start shouting at people. So yeah, it's a good feature worth having. It's also got a horn. I know, it just gets better and better. Press the button. As long as you want. It's got a horn on it as well. So while you're driving along, you've got your bell, ding, ding, ding. But this is quite a noisy alarm. It's going to make people look around and turn, isn't it? Wireless switch has come up on there, so yeah, got the wireless switch. You can mount that onto your bike anywhere. Or I suppose you could even wrap it around your wrist. If you wanted to actually get a longer strap, you could have this probably wrapped around your wrist and have it on your wrist, which again, maybe worth thinking about. So this also has a brake detection feature, which is a really good idea. So the idea to get the brake detection feature on, when the light is off, press and hold the button, keep your finger on the button until you get a constant flash. Once you get a constant flash, that's now into brake detection mode. Basically what that means is, theoretically, when you're cycling along and you come to a stop, you can see there, it should go brighter. That's quite a cool idea. That is quite a cool feature. That I like that. And the reason I like that is because people behind don't know you're stopping. So if you start to brake hard or you start to brake, that slight illumination is a warning enough maybe for them to think again or think twice what's happening, and maybe slow down and give you a chance and not to drive over the top of you. So yeah, so let's go through the lumen. That's what else we've got. We've got auto off, we've got auto off, auto power off. Theoretically then after, I think it's 2 minutes of inactivity, this will automatically turn itself off. And I just want to check on this screen here. Auto off, on, and brake detection. Support 2 mounting options. Yeah, I told you we've got 2 mounting options. We've got the seat post mount and the rear frame mount, or your luggage mount. Battery indicator. If I turn this off, press and hold to turn this off, give it a quick press on the top, you've got a green light there, and it shows that it's got lots of power. Green light means it's fully charged basically, and then if you've got a blue light, it's down to 25%, I think, something like that. So yeah, that gives you a good indication of how much power you've got in your light before you go out. You can see on the screen there, it's got a USB-C charger thing, and then you can see also on the screen there that it's got the rear rack mounting to it. There is one other thing I haven't shown you yet, and that is the actual light function. So let's switch her on. There we go. Oh, let's go back through these. So we've got the different light outputs. That's your dim light. Then you go on to flashing lights. So if you want to really upset all those motorists behind you and make sure you're really well seen, flashing lights, crazy flashing lights, that'll keep them really occupied. And again, you can still use your turn signals. I love it. I love it. The next mode is a slow flashing light, maybe a little bit tamer, not quite as irritating to those drivers behind you, especially if you're out with other cyclists. You don't want that high, fast pulsing. And then you've got hazard lights. Yeah, we have to finish on the hazard lights really, don't we? You've got hazard lights. If you want to put it on, you park to the side of the road, put your hazard lights on. At least other drivers should see it and preferably take note of what's going on. And again, back to your normal 3 different lights of output. So yeah, I think that's brilliant. I absolutely love it. I love the fact you've got turn signals with sound, so you can tell which way you're going, left and right. Let people know behind you. I think it's a cracking thing. I think I'm gonna put this on my bigger mountain bike with my rear rack and everything for when I'm bike packing and touring and things, I think, because it really would be a good idea. I like the idea, and with the alarm as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out the K700 as well. And I've done other bike lights for Ravemen as well, and they're all fantastic. I've got a really nice strobe one on the bike at the moment with a Garmin mount on it. I can't remember the name of it, but I put it on the screen for you, and that is fantastic. So if you've got a Garmin and you want the Garmin and the light fitting on the same mount, you just put your Garmin mount on the bike, you put your light on, clip it on, put your Garmin on the top, clip that on. Then if you wanted in a bigger strobe light like something like this or a camera, you can then mount that on the bottom. Fantastic idea. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now. See you soon. Oh, and if you use Ravemen lights, if there's any Ravemen lights that you've got that you've seen that you like, let me know. I'd love to know them. I love torches. I love lights. And now I'm into getting into my bike riding. These things are absolutely fantastic. Ta-da. Hazard lights.